Hello, it's me. My name's Sundy, and it's scary to do a Facebook Live on my public line, and I don't know why. Quite often I do quite a lot in my private group. I have a private group for the topic area that I talk about. So I'm from England, and I'm sat in the middle of a supermarket car park thinking, why am I doing this? And the reason why I'm doing it is because I have a situation in my life that a lot of people experience, which is around estrangement, and that's family members. And my particular estrangement is my adult children, and those of you who've met me before have probably heard me talk a bit about this. And yesterday was one of my grandchildren's birthdays, so it's I don't get to see my grandchildren. I've got 3 adult daughters, and it's been an 11-year journey. And what I've seen more and more is that the effect that it has on parents, but especially women, because obviously I'm a woman, and it's as a mother, it's something that's well, at the beginning it's completely ununderstandable. Is that the word? Completely unrecognizable how somebody that you could give birth to has actually chosen to not include you in their life anymore, no matter how you've been as a parent. Because, well, there's a whole story around the fact that we are the products of our own upbringing, and that we bring a lot of the stuff that we learnt into our own parenting. And what I find most interesting and what's most worrying to me is that it actually closes a lot of women down. It makes us hide away because of the shame, a lot of shame and the things that our children do to us, around us. You know, there's problems around money, there's withholding of grandchildren, the children are used as sort of weapons, if you like. There's incident, well, for me personally, you know, the police have been involved, which is totally outside of my known realm. I consider myself to be middle-aged, middle class, you know, very what's the word that's around at the moment, my position in life has a lot of benefits, entitlements, if you like. I don't know whether I've used the right word there, but I come with a lot of benefits in life. You know, I live in a nice area, I've got enough money, I've had a good education, you know, and no matter all that taken into account, this is still happening. The police have been involved, for goodness sake. This is happening to me. This is my life. And the shame of that, you know, and I could hide it away, and I think a lot of people do, and it actually makes us small in our lives, and we disconnect, and we get a broken heart, and we don't participate in our lives anymore. And women have got a lot to offer. And I think if we hide away, we end up as unfulfilled and very unhappy. And it led me to think that actually we do, as mothers, we invest a lot in our children, and there's sort of that expectation that we would be included in our children's lives forever. And I find it really painful. I find it painful in my own experience, and I find it really painful listening to other people's experience of their loss, their journey, how their children have expected to be given money, the way that their children treat them. And it made me think that, you know, that my own personal shame was that how could my children not like me, not want to be part of my life, and not for me not to be in their lives too. And it made me really question whether I was likable and lovable. I'm getting a bit emotional here. But then I've noticed that there's other people that like me and want me in their life. So, you know, and this sort of like, it confused me for a long time that, well, I sort of like me, and other people like me, but the people that I love, actually, their behaviour would suggest that they actually hate me, for want of a better word. And that brought up so much stuff, and also it also made me for a long time try to bend my own nature to fit what I thought they required of me. And that was a soul-destroying journey, trying to be something for somebody else because I wanted them to stay around. And I see that I've had that pattern in my life, that I've actually morphed myself to try and fit in with other people. So in a way, my children are giving me a lesson. So I'm a coach. I'm coaching other women. I'm in a group. I have a group in here in Facebook called Healing Parents of Estranged Adult Children. And in there I'm coaching and we're supporting each other, and it's been going for a year now. I opened it up a year ago, and I'm determined that I'm going to heal from this. I have none of them in my life now. In fact, the last event 3 weeks ago rubber stamped me from having to not have anything, no more contact with my children, because the police were called, and I think I was one step away from a harassment order. And I've done my best. I've tried to stay connected. And I know that I have one grandchild who's asking to see me. And that fills my heart with a lot of love, because I know that children are really good. They have a really good judgment of character. They don't generally like to, well, they don't, if they don't want somebody, if they don't want to kiss anybody, they will withdraw. And if they don't want to eat anything, you know, they're a good judge. We could learn a lot from children. They're a good judge of what they believe to be right for themselves. As we get older, we tend to lose that capacity and probably the courage to say, no, I don't want to. Sod off, you know. Oh, dear me. So where am I going with all of this? I want to speak more openly on Facebook about it. And, you know, my journey, like I said, is 11 years. It's 11 years in the history of it all. And I believe it was because I got divorced, and I believe divorce is a big indicator of it. We spend a lot of time looking for why it happens, and actually I see that I have no more control over somebody's opinion of me than I do of trying to change the wind direction. You know, people will think what they want to think of me. And I get it that some of you are going to have judgments around me, and some of you will like me, some of you will just think, oh, it's just another woman twittering on Facebook. And you know, I feel I've got a message to get out there for other people like me who are struggling with accepting that their children don't want them in their lives. I don't think this problem's going to go away. I think it's been hidden for many reasons, probably the shame one, really. That how can a mother actually forgive herself for her children, that lovely phrase, being kicked to the curb. I've learned so many new words. I've learned estrangement. I didn't know what estrangement was. I've learned alienation. I've learnt how to be erased, being erased out of your family. That's something I've very experienced. Family events carry on. I've seen them lately or latterly on Facebook. You know, my family that I've created, my ex-husband and children and grandchildren, go to events where I'm not there. You know, and I just think, gosh, what must that feel like, to know that you've got a key person in your family that's still alive, but you just don't want anything to do with. I mean, that's not in my nature. It's bizarre. And I have coined it as a living bereavement, because it is very much so. You know, there's babies born that I haven't seen. There's one baby I have, grandson that I haven't seen. And it's hard not to blame the kids. It's hard not to be angry. I mean, I've gone through anger. I've gone through all sorts, the whole gamut of emotions and feelings, and just the whole nightmare of it all. If you haven't experienced this, I wouldn't wish this on anybody. And it is like a death, but the fact remains that these people are still alive. I'm still connected to them. I still love them, you know, and where they're at the moment, you know, I now realise that it wasn't smart to try and hang around people who don't like you. It's just not smart, because it makes them even crosser. You know, the fact that you can be kind to somebody when they hate you is, and I've toyed with my intention and it's been such a journey. Anyway, if I'm brave enough another time, I'll come in and maybe do the history of it all, you know, or talk about it a little bit more. And thank you for watching, if you've watched and hung in this long. I'm now going to do my supermarket shop, because I am I'm just one of many, to coin a phrase from a well-known Joanna Martin coaching course that I went on. Just one of many women who are struggling to come to terms with the fact that their adult children don't actually want them in their life. So I'll speak to you again real soon. Lots of love. Bye. Bye.